Northface Construction, great service from the ground up. Roofing, storm damage, and siding. Call the pros at Northface. Our hands-on approach, advice and consulting. Our attention to detail makes the difference. Visit online at northfaceconstruction.com. Northface Construction, great service from the ground up.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Northface Construction Relegation Fantasy Football Podcast.
Let's go.
It's the world's longest name. I love it.
It is long.
So worth it.
Get relegated.
I'm your host, Jack Yaeger, alongside Luke Yaeger. We got a special guest in the house today, Mr. Ross Dunlap, the owner of the Big Lake Lumberjacks.
Good to be here. Thanks for having me, boys.
The most sold out owner in the league.
True. Yeah.
Do you have anybody you'd like to thank or shout out before we,
Anybody. It can literally be anybody you want.
It could be your wife or Ember Coffee or your kids
Or your
Ember
wife.
Coffee.
Oh, yeah. Big shout out to my wife.
Ember Coffee's like, we're pulling the plug.
Dunlap.
That's it. We're done.
We're done.
Without your support, it all wouldn't be possible. But yeah, Ember Coffee. I have a little something from them.
Are we getting mugs?
Definitely.
You get a mug. Can you get a mug?
How did you put this here?
That comes next. At Ember Coffee, we brew good and do good.
Oh.
At Ember Coffee, we believe we have the responsibility to help those in need wherever and whatever way we can. What can we do for you?
Hey, Ember Coffee, I know some poor podcasters who are in need of a segment sponsor. What can you do for us? Hopefully it's good.
I just want a mug.
Just stick to the team. Stick to the team.
How did you get Ember Coffee to sponsor you?
I didn't.
Oh.
Yeah.
They approached you.
No.
Oh.
This league is bigger than we thought.
I've literally just been having a ton of fun with that. So since we were looking for sponsors for the league and we, brought in Northface and, you guys have your chiropractor and CMS, be honest, I think I could still pull CMS if I needed to. Two teams, he'd be more action. Yeah. Sure. So I think we could do that, but I don't want to dabble in your pond.
Yeah.
And with your pond feet. So
That's Ian.
So with Ember, I just went in and made sure with ownership that they were cool with me pushing their products.
Oh,
and
that's awesome.
We kind of have a mutual, hey, let's see where this goes. All I ever want in life is free coffee, maybe some free merch. All they want is to grow and be productive and sell their online products. And they roast in-house, air roast their stuff and sell it online in K-cups and everything you could ever want. So I think they're gonna do well, but I'm just trying to support them. They're in Big Lake, my hometown, and
that's
just
awesome.
trying to make it happen. So it's literally no dollars of exchanged hands yet. But you've seen me put in that work. So
Yeah.
I love
It's
it.
on the horizon, I think.
Your TikTok videos are amazing.
Yeah, they're funny.
If you don't watch Ross's TikTok, you got to go to BL Lumberjack, right? BL_Lumberjack. Is that what your TikTok username is? I'm pretty sure it's something like that.
It stinks because when you're not actually dialed in this game, you have to just go with what's there, right?
Right.
You figure that out too, with the Twitter. But I think that one's simple. It's at Big Lake Lumberjacks. At Big Lake Lumberjacks, no underscores, no nothing.
Yeah.
That one's
You got to check those
one.
videos out. Yeah. They're so funny.
They are so funny. You want to know
Come on
how
by.
I stay lumberjacked? Ember Coffee.
I risk life and limb for your viewing pleasure.
I noticed one thing I did notice about, I think it was your most previous video, when you jumped through the trees, you added a sound effect.
Oh, yeah.
That was nice.
I'm getting pretty dialed.
Yeah, it wasn't just a high school, for video production class.
Oh.
You're adding that flavor,
Mm-hmm.
that Ember
You're gonna
Coffee
keep seeing it more
flavor.
and more. Air roasted.
So our next question for you, and I think everybody's dying to know, how much would a sponsor have to pay you to get a logo tattooed on you? Like Ember Coffee right across both butt cheeks.
Right.
Ember Coffee.
Across the budget.
And the
Well,
transfer
that
says,
actually,
service
that's
from the ground up.
shirts travel up your leg. If you want to see where this promotion is going. So basically,
Good catch. That was a good save.
I stopped myself.
That was good. I'm proud of you. It was getting dark quick.
Let's just say there's a way Ross could make a lot of money online.
Give me an O.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Give me an O.
Never heard of it. Never heard of it. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it does depend on kind of like where. I don't have any tats. I'm not like starkly against it. I have some reasoning for not, but if it was just something small and it was like Ember has a good logo, I might throw one down probably for like.
Yeah, let's talk money.
My number is actually like probably like 10 grand. It's kind of high. It's kind of high. I feel
that's
like
not too bad.
I feel like there's a lot of people that'd be like, let's do it with like one beer, and I'm like, I wouldn't. It's
I
a
would
little bit
need
more.
10 grand in a 6-pack.
10 grand and a 6-pack.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd have to drink the 6-pack, then get the 10 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then
in
That's
that
the
order.
agreement.
I think 10 grand's my number, so I'm not too wildly expensive. Like it's
I was gonna say that's not too bad. I
I'm
think
not
I'm
rejecting the idea, but
I might be
dude,
even higher than that.
But you
I think
know,
I am.
now that we know it's like a number that's not a pie in the sky, maybe we do it.
Yeah.
Ember, give me a shout. I'll see you tomorrow.
That is too funny. Moving on to more football talk. How do you feel about, because you've been active in the trade blocks?
The most active, right? You've probably have you had the most
You have
trades
3
so far?
or 2?
I just have 2. I've attempted to have a bunch more.
I think 2 is probably the
Jack.
most. So
I think
you sent
it
me
is.
a trade offer.
Austin.
What did you send me?
I left it up for like 5 days. I was like, all right, he's just that guy.
I
Not
didn't-
even going to acknowledge it.
Maybe I don't.
Oh,
know
do
where
you
they
send
are.
it through the? Do you send it through Yahoo?
I always send it through Yahoo.
Oh, I don't.
Oh, dude,
I don't see.
I
that.
have never sent a trade through. I always text it.
Yeah. If you
And
just sent
then-
me a text, I would have responded right away. But I don't even actually know where my trade offers come in.
They literally send you an email. It pops up as like a big notification in your face.
Do you remember what the trade offer was?
No. It was. I was going to throw you good talent because I need a tight end and you have multiple.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Still
So I
looking
was-
to trade?
Yeah. So look at my team.
Yeah. Well, okay. I'm being totally honest. This is the first that I've even heard of this. I didn't know because
Hey, if we can make a trade happen live on the podcast, I'm not upset.
You know what's funny is I think I've talked to everybody about getting rid of one of my tight ends besides the Lumberjacks. Genuinely, I've hit up so
We had
many
some
people.
timing issues
Oh,
with
my
our
bad.
our confrontation, and then now I think we're on the other side of it. Like your brother took me down. Now we can talk
Yeah,
again,
you
right? We're
took
back
me
in a good
down.
place. Yeah,
Yeah.
fair is fair.
And somehow we both have better records than him. It's a weird
And
setup.
you guys are playing this week.
What have
so
you done for me?
if-
lately?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not
Who
going to
needs
be
to win?
good. I desperately
I
need to
beat
win.
you,
Yeah,
and
I
you
beat
beat
you.
me.
So
So you need to beat him.
I do need to beat him.
I'm pretty sure it's going to happen.
I don't know. It's going to be a tough week.
I don't.
We'll
What did I
see.
have on the pick'em? I'm interested on that one.
We'll get to that.
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
get to
10
that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your trades first. Okay, so the first trade that you made this year was with the Texas Turf Hoppers. You gave up Rondell Moore for Pat Fryer. And no, wait, you gave up Pat. Wow, somebody help me.
Pat Fryer move.
I'm gonna let you go.
Just finish the podcast while I
Redemption's
have
right
my
around the corner.
stroke.
You got this.
You traded Pat Fryermuth
Yes.
for Rondell Moore.
Yes.
How do you feel about that trade now?
Not awful.
Yeah.
So Rondale is in that position where like the folks at Yahoo are like scrambling to tell you why he's not getting more points and what's going on with him. He's still a young talent and he still gets odd stat lines. Like he'll get rushes and he'll just sneak in
He's
the
a
game
gadget guy.
and all of a sudden be like that guy they needed, their Wes Welker in situations. So I think he still has a future in the league. Fryermuth certainly has a good future. Fryermuth is injury prone. I knew that going into the deal. He's on injury right now.
Yes, he'll be out for a couple
Since
weeks.
my trade with Austin, which was previous to all weeks, Pat has put up 21.3 points. Rondale has put up 22.1.
Pretty
That's
much.
0.8 in the favor of the Big Lake Lumberjacks over the Turf Hoppers. And Pat's injured, so Rondale's future is looking slightly brighter.
You knew what you were doing.
I got
You
crushed on
analytical
that.
king.
I was just helping family. You know what? He
Were
needed.
you?
Look at Zach Ertz.
Yeah.
Look at all the weeks Zach Ertz has put up at least a decent number compared to Pat.
Yeah.
And he just hasn't hung with him until now. Pat's like injured, and I think Ertz was the play the whole time. He's
Really?
old, but that dude's putting up numbers because he's getting the catches.
You just said, hey, here's a landmine. I gift it to you.
Yeah.
Put it in your lineup. Blow up your lineup every week. Well, not every week. He's 6-2.
Literally,
He's doing pretty well.
Literally, when I got into the draft, I was like, I probably have the highest preseason ranked tight end that won't get me there. So
You never believed in Farmouth?
I also got draft dollars out of that deal, and it wasn't extensive, but it was like my start of
You got like
accumulating
2 or
draft dollars.
3.
I got 2 draft dollars. He was very shrewd in negotiation, but now I have 6.
That's what you get
It's
for
going to come into play when I
lawyers.
need to
Lawyers.
trade.
Can't handle
Worst.
lawyers. Ugh.
That's pretty
He's
good.
so shrewd.
Okay,
He just
so
rejected a trade last night, man.
Did he?
Yeah.
Did you send it through Yahoo?
he probably didn't
I
see
did
it.
send it through Yahoo, and he did check it out and reject it on Yahoo.
Oh, brutal.
Okay, so how do you feel about the second trade you made with Unicorn Fart,
that was a big one.
where you gave up Jordan Addison, Tony Pollard, Kyle Pitts, Paris Campbell, and Raheem Blackshear, the hero of the,
hero.
pod.
Oh my gosh.
Hero of the pod.
I'd kill for
And
Blackshear.
I
Well,
think he's on
You know where you
waivers
can
right
find
now. He's on waivers. Connor dropped
I'm not
him.
much of a
Who are you
killer.
going to kill?
Jack also doesn't check the waiver part on the app. He
We
just-
have waivers?
No one texted me.
But in return, you got DeAndre Swift, Hayden Hurst, Brandon Ayuk, Keenan Allen, and Tank Bigsby.
Yes, sir.
I think
And 4 draft
everybody
dollars.
and
Yeah.
4 draft dollars.
Wow.
I think pretty much everybody in the league right now would say that you won that trade.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty easily now.
But I did get dragged through the mud publicly for a little while it was being figured out.
Yeah, no
that
pain, no
That was
gain.
not a
we
great
try to drag
idea.
here and there. We don't mean it personally.
I mean,
I do.
I had a little bit of foresight on Swift's uprising, not to the extent that it went. Not
He knows his
first
cousin.
week 30 points, but I'm like, Gainwell is not going to hold down that deal. And when the coach, it wasn't what he said. When their coach Sirianni said, DeAndre Swift cannot have 2 carries in a game. That can't happen. It wasn't what he said. It was
how he
said
winked
it.
at you through the camera.
Lumberjacks.
It was
Go
how
drink
he
a cup of
said
coffee.
it that told me he's the guy.
Yeah.
And so I had an inkling on that. I wanted him. I was targeting him. Keenan Allen to me was like age receiver. Just get me 10 points. Like hopefully he does well. But I was giving up big people, Pollard
Yeah.
and Addison, who was going off at that point. But again, Jack brought up in one of the pods, like Addison can't get a touchdown every week.
Right.
And he
No.
can't get and he hasn't got a bunch of catches. And he continues now that we've seen to not get a ton of catches
Right.
or opportunities, as a rookie often doesn't. And he doesn't get a ton of touchdowns. It's
Right.
just
True.
spur of the moment. His talent is phenomenal.
And he's going to be
He
a
will
great
do well.
keeper.
His future is massive.
Yeah.
So I
Yes.
gave up futures on him.
For
Kyle
sure.
Pitts, no belief. Neither did you.
Nope.
I'm not
Nope.
sure about you.
No, I didn't.
I needed to
No,
dust
you
that
and
guy.
Andy both kind of liked him. You both
I
said
didn't like Pitts. I just said he's built like he should be good, but I've never been high on Pitts. I've only been in fantasy football for 2 years now, and in both years, everybody's like, it's Kyle Pitts' year, and then he doesn't do
Yep.
anything. Everybody's like, wow, what happened? And then
Yeah.
coming into this year, I'm like, it feels like it should be the same thing. Maybe they turn around with Desmond Ridder instead of Marcus Mariota, but
Yeah.
I wasn't high on him. I was never planning on drafting him. And then getting to this point, we're only 4 weeks in. It's like pretty obvious that he's not the guy. Jonnu Smith is the guy.
Jonnu Smith is killing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
yeah,
He's
it's
rocking.
crazy.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
got-
scary guy to grab though and see we can keep this going. Jonnu Smith? Are you sure?
Jenna Smith.
Jenna Smith.
yeah.
I heard the same thing about Evan Ingram last year coming from the Giants. Everybody said he couldn't catch passes.
Dude, I believed.
Yeah.
He is a stud.
He's a stud.
He was a stud. They were the Giants.
They were the Giants.
Yeah.
I was talking to a Giants fan, though, so obviously it couldn't be the
Oh, yeah,
organization.
awful.
No.
Get rid of that guy.
He's actually, I talked to him on Sunday because in my other league, I had Daniel Jones going and Darren Waller. Absolutely blew chunks for me. So I'm like hitting him up like, dude, I'm more mad at the Giants this week than the Vikings. Like, for real. It's so tough. But
They're having a rough go.
yeah, they're a tough team to put your marbles in.
So on that trade, dive back in quick to the numbers and we can move past this. I feel very good about it.
Yeah.
I felt very good
I
about it
would.
at the moment. I think Kyle Pitts was the hinging point. He gave me Hayden Hurst. He
Yeah.
believed, as I did, Pitts is better than Hurst.
Mm-hmm.
But I believed Pitt's floor is like getting benched.
Yeah.
Like you are wasting it. Like people would be angry at him versus Hayden Hurst being like, oh, you did something? Like you're 31 years old tight end, like who has had like mild success. Like
Is he already 31?
I think he's in his 30s. I don't know
Holy
where in his
cow.
30s. I know he's in his young 30s. He's like me.
He's
I
30.
could be Hayden Hurst.
He's 30.
Wasn't Hurst drafted the
Except
same
I'm
year
not
as
huge.
Mark Andrews?
Um,
Isn't that the guy they
gotta be
both
close.
drafted by the Ravens?
he was close. Yep. And then he went to Cincy.
Is Mark Andrews 30?
He's got to be 29 or 30.
Oh my gosh, dude. Those guys have been in the league way longer than I thought.
Mark Andrews is
28.
28.
All right, 10-4.
Okay.
And Hurst is 30.
He must have been an early.
Then you think of Kelsey at 33. How did he get there?
Yeah.
How is Kelsey 33?
Yeah.
Like, how many more Magic years do we have? He's only 7th in tight ends right now. Tight ends is the weirdest this year.
Yeah. And I got 3 going right now.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
You got, yeah, I'm running Mark Andrews, Evan Ingram, and Jonnu Smith right now.
Let's go.
Yeah.
When did you pick up John? Are you have him for the start?
No, I picked him up
like 2 weeks ago.
Gosh.
Before last week.
You're
Yeah.
just a tight end whisperer, man.
Yeah. That seems like
I
the
don't know
only
what
position
else.
that I can find
You might
talent
need
in,
to
though.
whisper something else, but
Yeah.
tight ends is working for you.
Yeah. Running backs, tough. Tight ends, locked and loaded, baby.
So I'll lock and load back into this trade. I think I did well. I knew I did well at the time. I think your guys' ratings, there was some like B minuses, maybe a C plus, a B. It wasn't terrible.
No.
Like
No,
both
it was
teams,
like
you could
dead
tell we're going to
50-50.
be better because of the trade, weirdly.
Yeah.
But like, here's the real stat. So the Lumberjacks,
Buckle up.
since that trade, which was week 2, in the weeks ensuing, or after week 1, so week 2 ensued, week 3, it was like midweek that we made that trade and before week 2 happened. I've had 161.96 points in my starting lineup versus 72.2 in his starting lineup from those players.
Wow.
That's
In the
crazy.
3 weeks since the Blockbuster trade. So that's 224% more points.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have had the wins that I literally put up because of those players.
Oh my gosh.
Because I
yeah.
would have had the other players and I would have
Yep.
lost those games. And he still did really well with those additions, which some
Yeah.
of them went away Blackshear and some of them went to the bench.
Yep.
Paris Campbell.
Yep.
And he tried on Pitts for a little while, but ultimately I think he's going to figure out where that's going.
I think so too.
So 2.24 times is my number right now on points where I'm at versus where he's at.
Wow.
In our starting lineup. So I feel fantastic
Yeah.
about
I'd
that
say
trade.
That's huge.
And I would do it all over again.
I am so pumped
I
that
don't know
that
if he
trade
would.
happened because Connor's team is stacked. If he still had Keenan Allen,
Yeah.
DeAndre, if he still had those players,
Yeah. He even
There
said
wouldn't
it,
be much balance.
It
he
would
even
be-
said
it'd
it
be
last
over.
episode. He was like, yeah, I think he got me on that one.
yeah, he did.
It was starting to
He
tip,
did.
and that's when I started to compile it because it made me really interested. I was like, dude, he seems like such a good dude. I haven't spent much time with
Yeah.
him. He's such
Yeah.
a good
Yeah,
guy.
he's a great guy.
I think that podcast was really phenomenal. What you guys dove into, like I liked it a lot, and it just got my wheels turning.
Yeah.
First today, so
That's
yeah.
fun.
I love it.
All right, let's get into the segments. We got a couple fun ones today. Big ones, power rankings. We're going to revisit those. So we've actually compiled our own power rankings again after week 4. We took the median on that, and then we'll be telling you guys what our revisited power rankings are. And then
I
after
think
that,
we actually took the mean.
the mean, not the
The
median.
median would just be whoever the middle person was.
Oh.
It automatically becomes theirs. The mean is the
Math.
average.
Math is good.
So here's Ross' list. And then after power rankings, we're going to get into league pick'ems for the weekend. But we'll start it with power rankings. Pretty across the board consensus. Number punchers are taking number 1 with a 1.3. First,
We're giving up the number 1 right away.
oh shoot,
Yeah. Let's maybe it's number 1.
Let's just like
Who knows?
slowly backpedal into the
knows?
bushes.
Who could be
It didn't happen.
16?
it could be anybody. Should we
Keep
should we
no
just do
no
a
keep
going?
Keep going. Everybody keep listening for who's number 2.
number 2?
Is-
Maybe.
Let's go to 16.
Yeah. Should we start at 16?
Yeah, let's
All
start
right.
at 16 and
You want
work
me
our way
to,
up.
all consensus across the board.
God's chosen one.
Yeah. 16s all across the board. We got the African token.
Let's go, Bakanzi. Nowhere to go but up.
Hey,
I wanted to
the
put 'em
last
higher.
person who was 16 is currently sitting in what are they? Roided Robberries are in 4th right now in the league.
Third.
Obviously,
They're
we
7
don't
and,
know.
there are 3 guys tied at 7 and 1.
Roided Robberies are
They're 4th.
Yeah.
4th, yeah.
They're in 4th in the
7 and
league.
1.
So, Bakanzi in 4 weeks
You can make it happen,
could
maybe.
be number 4.
Flip it around.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough stretch. I gotta pull up my rosters. Do you
I
wanna-
think he's going to beat me this week, which
is interesting.
is rough from the standpoint of like ranking him last because we all ranked him last. Unfortunately, sorry, sir. But it just is what it is with bye weeks. It looks like it's going to happen. I don't think he'll beat the median. So a win against me, if that happens, is going to put him at 2-7 and just like a long road ahead. I just don't see it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. He could set himself up though with some trades and some action. Toss out Tyreek Hill, toss out any remaining talent for youth. You know, go after some great rooks or people that have been surprising this year that have, you know, a future ahead of them.
Yeah.
And, you know, we all know what Tyreek Hill has said. Dude's going to retire in a year or two. He says, like, I think he said after the 2024 season. I don't want to say what else he said, but after that season, he's going to retire. So, and he'll be like 30 or 31 or something like that.
Yeah.
So, if he's going away, like, we all know that any of us would love to have the guy while we still can.
Right.
And he might want to rebuild. My take.
Hey, I'm not going to say what I offered him. But I've offered him some draft capital, boys.
Let's go.
And he is not budging. He is wanting a haul.
Yeah, he wants a haul, which is unfortunate because
So he wants to win this year. If that's the case, that seems like the vibe.
His argument was that he needed some. Well, so I was asking for Jacobs or Hill. I didn't want both. That was going to be out of my price range. I was just trying to figure out which one I could maybe get. And he kept asking for a replacement. I was like, B, I'm selling you the future here, man. That you don't need right now. Don't take right now. Dominate in the future.
Would you trade Tyreek Hill for Olave straight up?
Yeah. Yeah, I would definitely do that trade straight up.
I think that would be beneficial for him.
I've offered him Olave plus quite a bit. And this last trade, I offered more draft capital.
Who is the backup in Miami quarterback?
Mike White.
Didn't he play for the Jets last year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
That's
Mike White or Skylar Thompson.
That's the only thing that scares me is Tyreek has always performed pretty much regardless of who is throwing to him.
Mm-hmm.
But if it gets bad enough, look at DeAndre Hopkins. Certain guys won't succeed nearly as much.
Definitely
So
risk.
if Tua gets concussion number 62
Yeah, true.
and
Or
has
Hill.
to exit.
When was the last time Hill played a full set? He always gets like an ankle or a hamstring,
True.
and he has to sit out a few games. So, I mean, at a certain point, you can't mortgage everything. But
Yeah, I think
him for Olave.
I think
I do that.
I think it's tough looking at Bekonzi right now because I think deep down everybody knows that he still wants to make a push for the end of the year. I mean, it is still pretty early, but just with the lineup right now, it's tough, especially considering that two of his guys aren't just like injured long term; they're like done for the season. So it's tough. He also still has Nick Chubb in his IR, so there might be a question that he re-signs him next year.
I mean,
For $63,
he probably won't. But what's the point of dropping him? I mean,
Yeah.
what else is he gonna gain? He might as well hold
You
on
can
to
grab
Chubb.
Dobbins and I can grab Chubb, and then we can both.
Well, the thing is, if he drops Chubb and somebody else picks him up, they could keep him as their waiver
their
wire
one guy.
exemption, which would be $14. If he holds him till the end of the year, he goes into the draft and people have to pay for him.
Interesting.
So if he drops him, only everybody else gains, and he doesn't.
Dobbins is out
Unless
there.
he drops him and then just says, all right, I'll pick him up with all my money. Like a little. That's tricky. I haven't thought of that rule being played with that
Yeah.
way. Guys, don't do that.
You can
The
definitely
reason I
loophole
dropped
it.
Dobbins was he isn't in Chubb's tier, and I knew, but I didn't want to tie up my IR. Like
Yeah.
I didn't know who else was going to be heading that list.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Jack forbid.
Yo, that was fun. You slipped it in. That was good.
right in the kisser.
Yeah, that was a good one.
So yeah, basically just I don't know. I didn't want to tie it up, and I didn't think he was worth enough to hold him all year for that.
Right.
And if it was Chubb, I'd be considering it like Bekonzi is. Same way. Like, yeah, at least don't give that advantage to somebody else.
Right.
Because I think Chubb comes back, and I think he's at least fine. I don't know if he's great, but
No.
we'll see. Dobbins, this is a second huge one, and his running style.
He's pretty
and
much
I
done.
think he's toast.
Honestly,
I'm not picking him up ever again.
no, I'm not checking to see if he's still on the waiver wire right now.
Somebody can keep receipts on that when I like draft him next year.
Oh, yep.
So yeah, I think consensus pretty easily. We got the African token at 16. Things could turn around, but as of right now, I think they're pretty solid at the bottom of the list. Number 15, we got the corn dog. They took excuse me, not 15. They're tied at 14 with the bourbon barrels. So
Yes.
bourbon barrels got a 15, 15, 12 for 14. Corn dog got a 13, 14, 15. So strangely enough, those both add up to 42.
I put the bourbon barrels at 12.
Yeah.
I think with Cooper Kupp coming back, I boosted them higher than what their record currently is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of mystery behind Cooper Kupp right now, though, because does he come back and put up Cooper Cup numbers? I think it's tough to say. And he's got competition now.
I don't think he puts up the same numbers as before.
Yeah.
But I still think he's a top 12 guy.
Look at it from this perspective. You're looking at it from like a fantasy manager perspective. Look at it from a NFL defense perspective. What do you do with him and Nakua coming at you? And you still have talent behind that. Van Jefferson, Tyler Higbee, Atwell, Kyron coming out of the backfield. Like they're not like the biggest names, the most dollars flowing through that group, except for, Kupp and Stafford. But man, they're going to be kind of dangerous, and it's going to be like pick your poison like it is with the Bengals.
They're Miami light.
Sands this year.
Yep.
It's going to be who's going to be the guy this week.
Yep.
Is it going to be Tyler Boyd going to come out with 20 points, or is it going to be Chase with a 34-pointer, or is it going to be,
It's like Philly.
Right now, just
It's like
swap
Philly
out.
right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Pick your poison.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to advantage Kupp in his comeback is if anyone feels like you might feel like he might be a little soft or have lost a step or the Mayo Clinic didn't do their job right, all of a sudden he's open.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's got amazing hands and his yak is amazing. So if he's left open or given any space, or if they just like bring him back on screen passes, I think he kills it.
Yeah.
PPR.
He could be Keenan Allen.
Because they don't want, they're scared of injury, running him all over the field, and they want to keep his snap count low, get him the ball in his hands, and let him do work.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm a believer.
Me too.
That is almost convincing to me that like, he's not going to, because I kept envisioning it as like Cooper Kupp's not going to be Cooper Kupp, but he might be a different version of Cooper Kupp, and that could be top 12 wide receiver in the league still by the end of the year. Because he could do screen passes like Keenan Allen, and he can catch 15
and I just don't
targets.
think anybody can handle like looking back at the game film or the stat sheet and be like, Puka Nakua beat us. Puka Nakua, yes, that's right. Beat us with 20 catches for 240 yards. I don't think it's going to happen anymore. And that's a down on Puka, but I think he stays pretty steady, and I think Kupp just slides in with that different role, like coming underneath, getting safer passes, being open unexpectedly. So
I agree.
I think that's a good bourbon barrel steak then.
Yeah, for sure. In 13th, we 13th by themselves. We got Pond Feet FC.
Pond Feet.
With Eckler possibly coming back. I haven't heard anything though. Have you guys heard if he's coming back at all yet?
I haven't heard anything yet. Currently stated that he expects to be back for week 6 against the Cowboys.
Okay, so
because they're on a bye week.
For me, it's I couldn't drop him any lower than this because of the fear of what's on his bench coming back.
Yeah.
Like, I just think he has enough talent on his bench that he could be 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, he has the possibility. He's one of those guys that could absolutely jump. One of the guys that really stands out on his team, Nico Collins. Nico Collins can show up for a 30-point week at random. So that's one of the best flexes that we have in the league. The guys that are concerning on this team are his, Shoemaker, but Njoku's out. Not a huge Njoku guy anyways. Amari Cooper does put up good numbers. Cortland Sutton is the guy in Denver right now. Ryan Tannehill, I don't know. He's not it.
Njoku playing through the burns.
Yeah.
You see his mask?
No.
Yeah.
Wild.
Oh my
Showed
gosh.
up in like a pretty creepy, like skin tone, a little lighter than his skin tone, but skin tone mask. That was like tight to his face, and you couldn't even see his eyes through the eye holes. It was just like menacing, and then he had like a fur coat with no shirt underneath, and just like he was bringing the attitude. Then he put up like 6 catches for 40 or 50 yards or something like that. It was a pretty impressive outing for just getting burns on his hands and face.
Yeah, wow. he had like a fire pit accident, like it like blew
lighting
up.
It's just too much gas or something.
Wow.
It just lit up in his face, and then his coach praised him after the game, like for his toughness. Like it obviously was.
They thought he couldn't even get a helmet on. Literally
God.
thought he wouldn't be able to put his helmet on.
Jeez, that's scary. Well, he's a stud. Jahmyr Gibbs, does he turn it around?
I want him to.
I do too.
I don't want him to be another Detroit running back who flames out.
Yeah.
Same. I think he's better. Well, I mean, I was high on DeAndre Swift. Because he was the 34th overall pick, or wasn't he like the second pick of the second round or something
like that? Yeah.
And I was super high on him, but I don't know. I mean,
him and Gibbs have a similar talent.
They do.
And they're being treated similarly in the backfield. Like pitch count, save the legs, like don't get injured your rookie year, whatever they're trying to do there. To be honest, I think, Campbell's philosophies aren't going to change overnight. I don't think anybody's going to sway him on the way he's doing things.
No, especially with a winning record right now.
When you're that old school, if you have a running back like Gibbs, who's seeing like second or third in carries in some games, like there's a reason, and I don't think it's going to change soon. Without injury.
I think he likes the power run. I think he likes David Montgomery a lot. I think anytime you get on the goal line, you can pretty much expect Jahmyr Gibbs to not be on the field.
Yep. Yeah.
Which is his downfall. He's not getting a lot of touchdowns unless he makes a really long run or a nice like red zone pass, like a screen pass kind of thing, And
it's a team that can play the fool out of the gadget game, but probably won't because they're coaching. It's just not the way they're going to go. They're going to power down your throat, and they're going to pass down on Rod.
Would you rather have Jahmyr Gibbs or James Cook?
I go Cook. I go Cook. I think Gibbs is arguably more talented and has potentially more longevity. Like if you just compare the Cook brothers, like Big Bro gets injured a lot. Little Bro's built very similarly. He doesn't have a lot to him. Super talented, very fast, quick out of breaks. But I think that Gibbs has like a little bit more staying power. He has a little bit more meat on him. But at the same time, the way he's being played and the competition he has for carries, I don't necessarily see a future if he gets tagged. Like, I don't know what happens there. Like, I think eventually he becomes the guy, and it's like Pollard. It's like, oh, you're already 26? Like, you're going to hit the crescendo of your career and be in a heartbeat 29, and people are going to be saying, like, you're Derrick Henry. Like, let's see what happens this year, and then you're going to be 0.
Yeah.
I just looked up their weights and heights. So Jahmyr Gibbs is 5'9", 201. So I thought he came in at 199 at the draft. He must have put on 2 pounds.
Stud.
Yeah, I know. He's really bulked up.
Yeah.
But that's a stock year. I mean, I'm 5'7.5".
Yeah.
I call myself 5'8". I'm 135. 70 more pounds on me?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's a big, yeah.
You're looking at it, brother. I'm 5'8.5", 215.
See, you're built to take a hit.
Built different.
That's
Greek
right.
god over here.
James Cook is 5'11", 190.
Whoa, interesting.
Yeah. So you're
Jahmyr
right.
Gibbs
He
got a
does
little more.
not have the meat on him. That
He's taller, he's lankier, and in my eyes, that just means more injury prone in general. But his usage, I take James Cook. His usage, the coach wants him to be the guy.
Yeah.
He wanted him to be the guy last year. He gave him opportunities early. And with Gibbs, it's like sprinkle here, sprinkle there. If that happens again next year, it's just a detriment to his whole career. Cook now has the confidence, I'm the guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
And who's behind him? You have an aging Latavius Murray, am I right? Is that who's behind him?
In
Latavius Murray is now his backup to my woe because Damian Harris slipped to like number 3.
I was gonna say, and Damian Harris.
And Damian Harris is a super talented running back. That shows you who James Cook is.
Yeah.
Yep.
James
Like,
Cook is a stud.
Damian Harris did nothing but wreck it with the Patriots and just happened to be up against Ramondre.
Yeah.
Bigger body, a little bit more talent, a little bit more, burst. But Harris could be a Montgomery on any team.
Yeah,
For sure.
true.
So James Cook, I think, is him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm high on James Cook. I was talking about that on the last episode that we were. James Cook is like one of my favorite guys that isn't like top tier elite streaming like that everybody wants. James Cook feels like a sleeper pick to me right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Yeah,
killing it.
I think he's good.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the Barnacles at 12.
Mhm.
I think they are. I don't really have too much to say about the Barnacles. They just feel like a upper lower half team to me,
Yeah.
and I don't have too much to say about them if I'm honest.
I put the Barnacles at 9. Where'd you go?
I went.
You had them at either
12.
12 or 14. I had them at 14.
I had them at
then.
12. Yep. I actually was going back and forth a little bit. I had put them lower, and then I brought them back up. Trevor Lawrence hasn't had a great start to the season. Am I right on that? Yeah, he hasn't had a
been
great
good.
start. I think he has a little bit of a bounce back. Christian Kirk is playing better than I expected. And we talked about James Cook. He's a stud. The guy who really stands out to me, because I have personal woes with him, Darren Waller is not the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, especially in a half PPR league. He's killing me in a full PPR league because he just does not get touches and he doesn't get touchdowns. I like Tyler Lockett. He's a little bit of a hit and miss guy too, though. So I think you're taking away on like if you get late into the season and you need a big win and you need a guy who's always going to show up for 12 to 15 points. Tyler Lockett is not that guy. He either puts up 20 or he puts up 8. Like that's so I think he's just a little too hit and miss, and that's why I agree with you. I think he's like in the top 3, 4 for the relegation league.
Yep. I think he'll be fighting it out at the end to try to get 8.
Yeah.
But I don't think anything more than that.
I agree.
Whereas some of the other guys around here, I think, have players that can boost him up a little higher.
Yep. Agreed.
I was looking at, I put him 9, and I mean, that's to your point, fighting for not being relegated. I mean, James Cook, I think, is an over projection guy. And I think the passing game opens up, regardless of him catching them, it opens up his lanes. Right. It makes him less of a focal point and gives him opportunity to just crush it every week. Dotson has upside in future. Sanders is looking down. Chuba's looking up. Good for you, Jack.
Cheers.
I don't think the coaching staff likes Sanders. Like, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
They don't want him in the game in key situations. Well, he has to have nagging injuries.
Yeah, it's been a groin, and he's had a few different things.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even think he was going to play last week.
Yeah.
I think
right.
Sanders is one of, over his career, like one of the most misutilized guys. And if it weren't for his injuries, I think he'd be a stud. His talent is high.
Mm-hmm.
He just can't put it all together between him and coaching staff decisions. Like it's happening again this year. And Chuba, right before our eyes, is kind of taking over that backfield. At least if they're in a situation where they need something, they go to him.
Yeah.
And Damian Pierce has had a rough go.
He's
got a question mark by him. Wandale's, I know he has a bye week with Lockett, and that's why he's there. But okay. And then Christian Kirk. Okay, so my reasoning was Lawrence, Christian Kirk stack. I love it. Lawrence is gonna get better, like you said. Kirk, I think, jumps out of the gym. I think he puts up more points in his projection constantly and is underprojected constantly because you got a Ridley and he's competing with Evan Ingram and you got just talent in that staff, ETN in the backfield. But I think he just keeps it going because he is the comfort blanket for Lawrence. And he's just a hands guy. He doesn't drop passes.
That's between week 2 and week 4, he had 13 targets in those weeks on the average.
And the depth, bro. Jake Ferguson's one of the hottest waiver wire tight ends right now. Like, if I were him, I might be putting
Ferguson over Waller.
I might be putting Dotson in for Wandale, getting Wandale out of the lineup completely and putting in Ferguson in my wide receiver tight end flex spot.
Oh, interesting. So you'd run 2 tight ends. That's
100%.
kind of my play.
Look at the action he's getting. And then Jameson Williams is a sleeper to look what he's going to do coming back from suspension.
Yeah.
So
I'm not high on Jameson Williams. I think I don't know if you heard the comments from Campbell. He basically said we just need Jameson Williams to be serviceable.
I did see that.
Does not seem like
encouraging.
Somebody that they're like, yeah, we're excited to get him back. We've got a game plan for him. It's like, no, we've got a good squad. Josh Reynolds is doing it. We just need him to probably be more like Van Jefferson in LA.
Yeah.
And he'll have a week where he puts up 2
25.
catches for 120 and 2 touchdowns. But I don't think he's going to be a guy you can really use.
Yeah,
No.
he's the Gabe Davis of the situation.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. Amon-Ra's hurt, and it's a late question mark came up, I think today. And it was literally like undisclosed or something like that last time I checked. So
interesting.
Don't even know if he's going to play. If he doesn't play, I think that boosts Jameson. However, you still leave him on the bench this week.
Yeah, for sure.
It's going to happen.
Right.
So
For sure.
there's enough spark there to get me to throw him at 9.
That's fair. That's fair enough.
I like it. That's a
At
good take.
number 11,
This one's interesting.
the Lumberjacks.
Lumberjacks at 11. And the reason that they're higher than lower is because you put them at 13.
Yeah.
are lower rather than higher.
Or,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They-
Right. Yeah. I
That
said
dropped
backwards.
him
Yeah.
because we had you at 9 and 10.
And you, yeah.
So I don't know if this is a karma situation where you're like,
trying to hedge your bets a little bit, maybe.
yeah.
Right. You do that all the time.
Well, what can I say?
Woe is me. I guess if I win, whatever.
It'd be nice.
Let me tell you something. It doesn't work. 2 and 6, if that's what you're going for.
You and I are median bad beat brothers. We've both been the guy
Yep.
0.5 below that number and got wrecked
Painful.
by it and gone over.
I also lost to Austin week 1 on a last second catch. So, but although you look at my total points scored, points for, I'm pretty close to. I'm a middle of the tier.
You're like the
middle
median.
table.
You're
Yeah.
like in the middle. Yeah,
I really am.
Which makes sense
The median.
why, because you could have been on the opposite side of those median wins, 3 times now?
No, once once on the opposite side of the median, and then once should have been a win versus Austin.
Oh.
But I was already past the median. That week.
Right. Okay, so you would have had 2 if you were the 2022 Vikings.
And then you, I lost, or not to you because we play this week.
Yeah. Lost the median to AP.
I lost the median to you 2 weeks ago because of Godwin missing the pylon by like 6 inches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That would have put me to the median.
That was crazy.
So yeah,
Such a bad beat.
yeah, if I was the Vikings last year, I'd be having a great season.
Yeah.
But I'm the Vikings this year,
So
and
you're 1-3.
yeah, it's brutal.
Joe Burrow. I know we've touched base a little bit on him. How long are we waiting on him to be Joe Burrow again? Let's say we're in week 9 and he's still putting up similar numbers.
Like, Burrow's not even himself from like a media standpoint. It's like all trending in the wrong direction. He just stated like in a press conference that like Arizona is a must win. And he used some like bold, like confident words and like I'm pulling for him. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but like this is the week it has to happen.
It has to.
Arizona's not a bad team for what we thought. They can do some damage. But I don't think that their secondary is like elite.
No.
And so another tough piece is the T. Higgins. Is he healthy?
No,
he's not.
He's not.
Does he
He'll be
play?
out a couple weeks, I think.
Yeah.
Okay,
he's
so who's he passing to? You got everybody on Chase. You got Tyler Boyd, who's more than capable, and then you have your running back coming out of the backfield.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Those are your 3. Yeah.
I mean, Irv Smith.
He's injured.
Is he?
Is he out?
He was out last week.
Well, that's his MO anyways. Okay, so
Joe
who does
Burrow,
he-
not.
I think he was out.
I think they still sneak a win this week, but I think Joe Burrow puts up 16 fantasy points, 15 fantasy
I'm hoping
points.
for like 13, dude. I will see it as a sign of improvement, and I will take it.
I was gonna say I think I might be seeing 12,
he can
13,
outscore
and
Ritter-
I think they lose.
I think he gets.
I genuinely think Arizona wins this week.
They might. They
got something
honestly
about 'em.
could.
It's Arizona at home, isn't it?
It'll be a.
And
Do you
right
think it'll be a
now-
low scoring game?
Yeah, it's at Arizona.
Yeah, it'll be.
It'll be like 17-14 kind of thing.
24-21.
Oh, okay.
I think a little higher than that.
Currently ranked at 100.
But right
Joe
now,
Burrow.
I'm pretty sure Cincinnati is projected to win by 2 points. But when you're on the road, or what is it? Yeah, win by 2 or something like that. But on the road, you get an extra 3. So no, I am doing this completely opposite. The home team gets 3 points.
Yeah, so it'd be -1.
And so it's really more like a 5 point on a neutral ground that they think they're better. But I
Interesting.
don't think that is true.
I don't think that's
I think
true.
Arizona's better.
Arizona looks better after 4
Yeah.
weeks for sure. I mean, that's pretty easy to say. It is interesting to see that out of all of his projections for the rest of the season, this week he's projected to get the lowest amount. And I think part of that is probably T. Higgins not being in.
Yep.
So he doesn't have all of his assets, but projected 23 puts up 3. Projected 24 puts up 20 against Baltimore. That was a good game. And then other
Yahoo
than that,
will leave sometimes former projections because they're
Yeah.
basically, as you get later into the season, that stuff will start to go away and it'll chip away.
Yeah.
But like I've noticed that with guys like Damian Harris, still showing like he's going to score 8 or 9 points in later games in the season. They're
won't.
not attributing the change in Latavius Murray
Right.
taking his role and him being a
Yep.
number 3 guy. So with Burrow, these look, Jack, to me, the exact numbers that were up there for later weeks that were up there at the beginning of the season. However, right now they're adjusting this week to reality and
Yep.
tempering
I noticed that
expectations.
too.
So next week, 23.74. I guarantee if he stinks it up again this week, his
be like a
projection will swap
15.
to like
15.7.
it'll probably be similar. It'll probably be
Like
like
18?
19.
Oh, okay.
He's still Joe Burrow. But how's his calf? What are they doing from a coaching standpoint to fix this? And where are his receivers? Where are his weapons?
Yeah.
He's in tough territory. So I'm in tough territory because of it. But when you look at the whole staff, if it weren't for my buys this week, I'd be very much okay against McKenzie. I do have my buys this week. He's projected to beat me by like 15 points. Look at DJ Shark down there at 3.95. Damien's just a plug just for like to keep me out of the 50s. I'm literally going to swap him out, I think, for like Rondale or somebody else because I just don't know if he's even going to play, and they just don't even like him on that staff. They don't give him any action. So I'm hurting.
Yeah.
I'm hurting big time.
Yeah. But I do
My future's not bad.
I do
Yeah.
think you are better than 11th. I think you're going to be right around probably 6, 7, 8 to finish the year is kind of what I'm
the only 4-14
hoping, but we'll
There's gotta
see.
be something to it.
But before we move on to number 9, let's take a quick break.
Okay. Hey, this segment is brought to you by Team Healthcare. It's a multi-specialty clinic, chiropractic, PTs, medical staff, nurses, nurse practitioners, acupuncture, and massage. They are experienced providers in reducing pain, improving the brain, and restoring energy.
They're run by 2 great guys, Joe and Jay Birch. We've been going to them for years. They're just so incredible. They've helped me with different problems from earaches. They got that fixed. In high school, I had shin splints. They treated me with different stim, different stuff like that. They're awesome. So anything that you're dealing with, they are there to help. And if they can't, they will point you in the right direction. They're truly incredible guys. So
make sure to check out Team Healthcare. They are fantastic. We love them. We know that you'll love them too. Let's get back to the episode. Moving into the 10th spot, we got the Yorkies. I ranked them at 9. Ross gave them
is
an
that
11.
how deep a Yorkie bark is? it's a lot higher.
Literally.
And then Luke, you actually put them at 10, which is funny because that's where you ended up landing.
Well, it's the mean.
Yeah, it's mean, yeah.
Or the median.
The median, right.
That's so average of you.
13th. We should probably start with you.
Huh? No, I was 9, 11, 10.
Oh, or 11?
You looked down to the Lumberjacks.
Oh, yeah, I did.
We all had me pretty much around the same.
Yeah,
I think right now my team looks like a team that could be slightly better, has been a little snake bit. I'm a middle, like we were just talking about it. I'm a middle of the road team right now. I'm right around that median line. I'm not going to compete with the top guys, but if a few things can go my way, I could be right where I think me and you are probably pretty similar teams right now.
Yeah, we have very similar situations.
Yeah.
Herbert, that's an interesting one, man. We have that connection. I got Roshan building his way up and having a little bit of a setback last week. Herbert having a great week.
Yeah.
But
it was nice to see that on my bench.
Coaches, the sentiment coming from the Bears is like, Roshan's the future. Let's get him in, but Khalil is like, I want that spot. Like, I'm not letting it go. And there's been a little bit of that going on, man. Like, look at Achan, and Raheem, and that competition in that backfield. Like, both could be a starter anywhere right now, and both want to be the guy there. And somehow they're both doing well. If it weren't for injury, and I like your tight end. He's overperformed. Romeo Dobbs overperformed. Hichan overperformed. Drake London.
Now, when you say overperformed, you mean their original projection, or you mean they're going to fall back to earth?
I'm not saying overperformed their talent level or their future. Nope. I'm literally saying.
Cool. Just wanted to double check.
We don't have to fight.
I need approval.
Do you want to fight? I'm just saying, they're jumping out of the gym a little bit. They're doing really well, and I believe in them. Javonte, I'm a little scared in that situation. Drake London, I'm scared in that situation. Olave, honestly, I'm scared in that situation currently, not future.
He's a stud.
But the quarterback sitch, some of the coaching, some of the where are they putting him and what are they trying with their best talent, it's kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
And Tua is a stud until, like I said, 60-second concussion, they're probably going to let him loose. So I hope that he doesn't. Jack hopes that he does. We all know the deal.
It's that jujitsu. He learned how to fall.
Do you want to do like a ham sandwich bet on whether he makes it the whole season?
No.
Kind of. You know where I'm betting. No, I actually put you. Did I put you highest out of all three of us? Yeah, I put you at 9. I'm still riding on the fact that you're still down on touchdowns. Even with Achan.
Achan got me 2 last week, but 2 only got me 1. So
so everything evens out a little bit. You're still not seeing the production that you could be seeing out of Chris Olave. I think that honestly might continue with Drew Brees. Like, he doesn't.
Oh, we got Brees back. Let's go retro.
What continues with Drew Brees?
Derek
The coverage of the games, or
not Drew Brees.
like a Viagra commercial?
I think Peyton Manning's going to be good this year. No, Derek Carr. I think he's still questionable right now. If he doesn't play, I think Chris Olave continues to probably have not a great week.
No, I think he's
Shout
better.
out Drew Brees. We need you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Come on in and help Olave.
Oh yeah, you want.
I
So
think
if Derek Carr plays and
it's
he's
worse.
injured, it's worse for you.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think Winston actually gives him
Absolutely.
gives him way more because
Deep
he'll
shots,
bomb it.
taking chances, interception for a touchdown. We're back.
Who cares? We're back on the field. Yeah,
That's awesome.
That's what I'm hoping for. So we'll see. We'll see if that rides. At
I think
9.
one last knock.
Oh, yes,
because I
go
know
for it.
I know
No,
our
no.
time deal. One last thing: 5 wide receivers that you have that honestly are great wide receivers.
Yeah.
But are guys that can get you 0, 5, or 30.
Yeah.
And that is the wildest thing about your team. I know is from day one when I was looking at it, I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen.
I'm not getting enough
you
of those
obviously were lacking
30s.
some touchdowns and stuff,
Right.
and that's
Yep.
going to come. But like Drake can do a big goose egg. Romeo easily could.
Mm-hmm.
Godwin has been disappointing. Elijah Moore, I mean, ton of it comes down to quarterback play.
Yeah, Elijah Moore. If Deshaun Watson comes back after the bye, I'm a lot better with him. And then hopefully Deontay Johnson comes
But I
back.
think with 5 of those guys, you take your chances. You have almost all of them in the lineup every week,
Right.
and you're going to have a couple pop off.
Right.
And
Yep.
that's a big
And
boost
they'll be
to
on my
your
bench.
squad.
Because that's what's happened.
All right, number 9.
Number
9, the Acorn Assassins.
Yeah.
Andrew Peterson getting the nod above the Yorkie.
Yeah, getting a little bit of love.
Almost
Actually,
didn't get relegated.
I put
Almost.
I put Acorns at 11. You put them at 7, so we're the biggest split. Reason being that I don't know. It's just his team reminds me a bit of your team, where it's like there's a lot of guys on there that could potentially have a great week to week, but then they also could put up goose eggs. You know, so it's just it's a tough one. He does have Curtis Samuel in his lineup finally after crapping on him all year. I know T. Higgins is injured, but he was always like, "Oh, I don't even want Curtis Samuel." And now it's funny to see him at wideout too, not even in his flex. But yeah, just a couple guys on there. Ramondre Stevenson hasn't been playing up to his talent quite yet in the season. Daniel Jones is probably the biggest goose egg on that team right now, though.
He's been a bummer.
He has been such a bummer. Holy cow. He's always projected to get like 17, 18 points. And outside of 1 week, he's averaged about 7, 6 maybe. Like, dude, that's tough. That's tough to bounce back from. But he is riding out with David Montgomery. Montgomery's been a beast. I think he'll continue to be a beast in Detroit. So I put him a little bit higher, or I put him a little bit lower just because there's too many, like we've talked about. Garrett Wilson, no Aaron Rodgers, his value goes down. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of guys on the team like that. So
He's got good running backs. He's got a really tough quarterback situation. I think he does. I think he on purpose puts his flexes instead of his wide receivers because he just wants to mess with us. I literally, because I am the guy that's like, why isn't Devontae at the top? Like, he has to be up there.
It's because they play later in the day. That's the
Oh,
only
so he
reason.
could
So
change-
he's
So
got
he's leaving himself the
he's got
out.
Devontae
Yeah.
on Monday and Garrett Wilson in the afternoon game.
yeah,
10-4. I get that. But yeah, if it were for any other reason, I just think he's messing with us.
Yeah, just so that he has the advantage at one position.
yeah, right.
Exactly.
I wanted both my flexes again.
Devontae's a beast. He's continuing to do great things. Goddard's been disappointing. I think he picks it up throughout the season. He has the talent. Montgomery, Ramondre is a great stack of running backs. And that's where I'm at with it, is like T. Higgins being out this week and just sitting there, Braxton rising in Miami, and there's room for everybody to eat. Like, I don't hate a lot about the team. I just think they're so down the middle, but they are probably one of those big running backs getting jacked up away
Lumberjack.
from probably having some major problems.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I think so too. Number 8, first team to stay promoted according to the power rankings.
Yeah, let's keep it, baby.
And I think the standings. I think you're in 8th as well.
Yeah, probably.
The Sun City Sleepers.
Wait, am I in 8th?
Splitting it.
At
You're
5
in
and 3?
6th. You're in 6th.
AP's
bro.
Oh, you're in 6th.
Yeah,
AP,
I
You're
was gonna
hedging your
say.
bets. You're ahead of the
look at
the
that.
curve here.
Yeah, Sun City Sleepers. We all kind of see you right around that 7-8 spot.
Yeah, we went 7, 7, 8, which is interesting. Yeah, I think my big issue is the issue that I've been running into all year. That RB2 spot is just such a hole in my lineup. And honestly, my second flex spot right now is not great. I actually have faith in Jenna. I think he's going to be a beast. I think he's going to continue his way and probably average like 6-7 points by the end of the year, which is probably a little bit of a hot take. But the way that they're talking about him and the way that the head coach is from Tennessee, came with Jonnu, they have a connection, and Kyle Pitts is not working. So as of right now, he's viewed at the receiver 3. I think he could slip in there and just be like the consistent like Evan Ingram guy, where he just gets all the passes. You know, he gets like 4, 5, 6 catches a game, gets his 40, 50 yards, and we go home happy.
Yeah. Well,
I
that
haven't
you are
looked
happy at the tight end
I-
position this year with that.
Yeah, I'm
absolutely.
running 3 tight ends right now. So if anybody needs one,
What?
come on.
What would that be called? You got the what is it? The 11 for what are they called? You got the 11-man, 12-man based on how many tight ends they have. You've got like the 14-man running out there with all the tight ends.
I think at 8 is about where I'm at. It's funny because we have teams behind that saying like, I think there's a good group of guys who are fighting for that 8th spot. So it's interesting. I'm not comfortable at 8. You know, it would be nice to be closer to like where my actual power rankings are right now. Like if I was swimming around 6, I'd be like, okay, we can move up. And then even if we move back a little bit, we're still staying in the varsity league or the top, the champion league.
I mean, literally are at 6, so
Yeah.
Yeah, I know,
could
but
play out.
Just our power rankings as of right now is even I put myself at 7 because I think there's still holes in my lineup.
Right.
So in order to like get to that really true 6th spot, I think I need to fill at least one of those.
Yeah.
We're up to number 7 now.
Number 7.
Number 7, Slumlord Co.
Yep.
Moving up despite constantly letting us down
Yep.
week after week after week.
He's Joe Burrow.
What was the initial projection on that one?
Slumlord was like number 1 or 2
He
originally.
was up there.
Yeah.
We
He
all
was
liked
way up
that
there.
team.
The only reason I have him higher right now, he could drop. I think, Jack, you and I have him at 6 and 7.
Yep, I put him at 6.
Okay, so I have him at 7. Ross has him at 11. He could very easily drop for me to 11. It's all riding on the new Jonathan Taylor
Yep,
news.
of course.
Him being back. If he's not, this team drops down to like
13.
10, 11, 12,
Yeah,
somewhere in there
maybe
for me.
even deeper.
But right now, if he's back, it's
It's a game changer.
Yep, completely
I totally
different
agree with
team.
that. I think as we continue to, I think the reason that he's 6th and not even higher is I just still see Derrick Henry or Joe Mixon going out potentially. I think there could be a 4-week injury out of one of those guys pretty soundly. But Jonathan Taylor coming back gave him that boost to get past like the 7, 8, 9 spots.
Did I say Jonathan Taylor or did I say Jonathan Stewart?
You said
I thought you
Jonathan
said
Taylor.
Taylor.
Yeah.
Okay, thank
you
God.
said
I think we're
Jonathan
clean.
Isaac.
We're good.
I just had
gonna be good this year
I
on
just had a
Orlando.
moment where I was like, what did I say? I can't remember what I said.
I blacked out.
I was,
Tony Stewart?
Tony Stewart.
It is crazy that Slumlord Co has dropped from. I mean, we projected him at number 1 at the beginning of the season. Now he's sitting at number 6. Crazy enough, though, his current power rankings, he's a 10th place team.
He's currently at 7 for us.
Oh, it says 10th right here.
What? Where are you looking?
10th place.
Oh, no,
that's
he is in 10th place.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's not. I thought you were
that's
talking about
actual
power
standings.
rankings.
Like you're
Oh.
actually in 6th and I'm
Oh.
actually in 7th.
Oh, I got you.
But we have composited our thoughts that he's going to be end the season not relegated in 6th
Right.
and
7th.
in 7th.
Yeah.
Still not relegated. And I think the reason he's not super quality deep, I look at Mike Evans with the bye. Okay, obviously
He'll come back now.
well,
No, he'll be able to come back from that hamstring now without missing a game.
totally.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, Komet has a big week, but he's not always going to.
No.
Gallup. Who knows
That
what
sounded
happens
like a horse
there?
noise
And then-
Nay.
You caught on, didn't you? I don't know what Jonathan Taylor's going to do. We all know his potential. His ceiling is crazy high. If he goes off and does what he used to do and everything goes back to normal somehow, that guy's running back stack is the most insane.
Insane.
Yeah.
Bar none. But with Gallup and Cooks creeping around in his flex and Stafford being as shaky as I think Stafford just generally is, I have concerns that he can't be more, and there's nobody saving him below. Honestly, I would start writing Stroud like now. Stafford against Philly, Stroud against anybody. I think he's a confident young man, and I like what he's putting up.
Yeah.
I would be running that guy and seeing what I think his ceiling is higher.
It's tough with Stafford looking at his numbers so far this year. I mean, he's playing decent. He's serviceable, and then I do see Stroud stats. It's like, how do you not make the jump at some point?
One thing with Stafford, before we move on to the next team, one thing with Stafford versus Stroud is that Stafford has been putting up massive yardages. He just hasn't gotten into the end zone because Kyron Williams has taken that. If he gets the Kyron touchdowns, if he's passing those,
Yeah.
Stafford's doing what Cousins is doing this year.
Yeah.
Right.
So Stafford's playing great.
Yeah.
He's a safer floor than
for
betting on a
sure.
rookie.
Yep.
So I'll give him that. And if he does start getting touchdowns, I mean, it's going to be a tough decision, I think, the rest of the year for him.
Which is not
And
a bad situation to
It's
be in.
not a bad place to
Yeah.
be. Not at all.
It'll be interesting.
At number 6, we've got the Andover Avalanche. Ooh, Ross, you got him at 4.
I like their team.
Wow, I got him at 6.
I got him at 8.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I think they're better than their record has shown.
Yeah.
And actually, it might not. They might be right around 6. I have no idea. But I think they should be better than that. They've gotten really unlucky with who they've had to play. He was 0-3 and played against like 3 of the highest scoring teams
Yeah.
every week.
He has played some tough teams.
Yeah, his,
brutal.
And
his
he's-
points against is brutal. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, the thing that's kind of been screwing him a bit is his investment in Justin Fields. That's tough.
And then when he benched him,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then he goes off. So now he's in a starting lineup. So you can expect a mediocre week from Fields going up against Washington. No, I'm just
He
kidding.
has
Who
the
knows?
second most points against in the league this year, only to Acorn Assassins. So
Wow.
his differential, he's like 70 points behind what teams have been scoring on him. I
And-
think the
and
future
Acorn
is bright
Assassins.
for Ryan because the past has not been.
Yeah.
I agree. And Acorn Assassins have the one slight outlier with being the number punchers put up 138 on them last week,
Right.
which is
Yeah.
that's a massive number. So if you drop that down to 115,
103. Like
Yeah,
it
what-
seems like an average number to win.
yeah, like a average high score for the week.
Yeah.
Then Ryan
105.
takes it
Ryan,
by far.
Ryan's been just wrecked.
Right. Yeah. That is a good point. He does have a lot of really good pieces. Some of the pieces that are really impressive are his running backs. He does have a lot of. The only one that kind of lost a lot of value is Zach Moss with Jonathan Taylor coming back.
Possibly.
Jonathan Stewart.
Jonathan Stewart back in the
come back.
league.
But Aaron Jones, Alvin Kamara, like those guys are studs. And then Kenneth Walker is on a bye, but he's a beast too. You know, he's got a lot of talent in the running back position, which a lot of the guys in our league do not have. That's like the least
Me.
depth. Yeah, me.
You.
Yeah, pretty much everybody.
A
Yeah.
lot of people.
Pretty much everybody,
Bakanzi.
but Ryan and Slumlord, and I think that's what kind of brings them to a higher position.
the Kamara stash was
Kamala.
dialed.
The
Sorry.
Kamala Harris stash.
The Kamara stash was dialed.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
having a backup Q in Jordan Love,
It's a great backup.
it's phenomenal. And honestly, he could play him right now. And I would bet a ham sandwich that he outperforms Justin Fields this week.
I wouldn't take that bet
Against
because
Vegas.
I trust it. I mean, I think Love has put
For
up
anyone
enough
that
stats.
wants to literally just make me a ham sandwich because it's going to happen. Reach out to the pod. Let us know on TikTok. Let us know on YouTube.
Ember Coffee, you make ham sandwiches?
This message is sponsored by Ember Coffee.
Jordan Love will
this
score
ham
more.
sandwich bet is sponsored by Ember Coffee.
Oh my gosh, a ham sandwich segment would be awesome.
That would be great.
Oh, that's so good.
We like his team.
Yeah.
We like his
We
team.
do.
Number 5, we had a consensus at 5. All of us voted 5 on this one. Roy to Rawberries. Are they currently team 1? Are they ranked
They're
fourth?
fourth
No,
place.
fourth.
Fourth,
We
fourth,
looked
fourth,
up
fourth.
earlier.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier.
Place they've scored 100 points a week.
Yeah,
And
very
we had
impressive.
them at 16 or 15. Again.
16? No,
16.
16.
That is the most phenomenal turnaround.
7-1.
Insane.
4th place. Patrick
Forward.
Mahomes is a stud. Amon Ra, is he out for sure?
No.
Oh,
No.
Let's
just
read his
questionable?
questionable sign.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Take 2 seconds.
I think
Did not practice Wednesday.
I'm pretty sure the coach said that he's been being monitored for
Okay.
it. Like it seems less likely than him playing last week.
Yeah.
But it seems like the same injury, so I don't know why it
Abdomen
would change.
issue.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
ab.
his other was turf toe. So
Ooh,
he's got things
it's
going
working his
on.
way up.
That was what kind of like Debo was dealing with, something like that, right? Like a rib or an ab or something in his midsection.
Mm-hmm.
And he played and honestly did fine. Amon Raza also a pretty hard nosed guy. I think he'll want, and Campbell is too. I think they'll
Yeah.
be like, you're going in, man.
Yeah,
And he'll
right.
Pretty high T in Detroit.
Yeah.
Pretty high T.
They got a clinic right nearby in case it gets low.
Yeah, they don't need any of those Drew Brees commercials.
He does. Another team that we can kind of touch base on running back wise, he's got good running backs. Mostert, Bijan Robinson has proven himself already
Gosh,
that he
Bijan's a stud.
He is a stud, dude. He is a beast.
So good.
Jump cut king.
And he does have a couple guys like Westbrook, Ekine, Westbrook Akeen, is that how you say it?
Yeah,
he had a good
some
week.
of those guys.
He had a good week last week, and he had a good week too. So he does have a little bit of depth. That's why I think he stays up higher. But he is one of those teams that if he loses one of his top guys, like if Patrick Mahomes goes out, this team drops to 16th in a heartbeat. Like
not 16th.
15th.
Oh, wait, does he not have another? Oh, Aiden O'Connell's his only other guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. He drops pretty low.
Yeah.
You're right. Mahomes drops him pretty quick.
Mahomes would be the biggest hit.
Kyler
obviously.
Murray will be back probably mid-year.
Mm-hmm.
Does he play though?
I think he does.
Does he? Dobbs is playing great in Arizona right now.
He is.
Dobbs is. Why do you risk Murray getting injured when you could use him as trade bait?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
True.
I'm with you on that take. Let's say there's a chance.
Yeah.
There's a chance that problem solves itself
Agreed.
when he's back mid-year, and maybe solves that Mahomes problem. When's the bye?
Mahomes'
That's
bye
gonna
is
get
10.
scary.
Week 10.
That'll get scary quick if he has nothing else going on at that point.
This might be the funnest matchup of the week. Avalanche versus the Roided Strawberries. I think anything can happen in this game. I seriously think this might be the matchup to keep your eyes on.
For sure. For sure.
Moving into our fourth spot, we have the Turf Hoppers. They took a 4, a 4, and a 6. You gave them a 6, right?
For the Turf Hoppers?
Yeah.
Did I?
Yep.
Really? I thought I gave him a 4.
I think I was.
gave him a 4.
Maybe you were the 6. Maybe I swapped them around. I thought I always put Ross in the middle, but 6. What are you thinking for a 6 spot? What does this team need?
What do they need? They need tight end performance. They need Najee to play like a starting running back. They need Alexander Madison to consistently play like a starting running back.
Yeah.
They need Kyron and Debo to stay healthy. Terry Mack has been inconsistent, and Kirk Cousins has been out of his mind. So if that train slows down at all, he does have like 17 backup quarterbacks, so I'm sure he's not concerned about that. But that's
Zach
like
Wilson?
the quarterback
Did he drop
stash
Zach Wilson?
has been big for him. He's got Dak, Zach Wilson, Trevor Siemian. I mean,
Nope.
he's just
No, he's
like
got Zach.
quarterbacks
Where?
for days.
Fifth from the bottom.
Yeah. He does have a lot of quarterbacks. Trevor.
Austin is very analytical, very on top of his game, and he has a plan. And, despite what I've said about Freiermuth, I mean, to have that as your second tight end, not a bad sitch.
No.
He is going crazy with the IR. He's got Jeff Wilson and Chase Edmonds down there. He also has on his bench Mike Williams, who's not coming back. So he's playing the futures too here. But as far as this season, he's got depth. He's got depth you can't deny.
Yeah.
No one on his team screams at me like the guy, but that's kind of the point of Austin's team.
Yeah.
Is anyone can be the guy any given week, and
True.
all of them have a pretty decent floor.
Yeah. I think it's a great take. I don't even think we have to touch on that anymore. That's right on the nose, actually. I think he's one of the teams in the league that has the best floor. Like, consistently, it would be surprising to ever see the Turf Hoppers go under 80 points. Or 80, 85, even 84
he's probably
points.
like not going to lose to Pecanzi, like
Right.
80 to 60.
Right.
No,
And he has enough pieces where...
Who else would do that?
Right. Turn the cams off.
I was hoping but I can't.
We'll subtitle that. I don't know what he said.
Drink your coffee. All right, number 3, we got the long necks. I put them at 3. You put them at 4?
I
you
put
him at 4. You put him at 2. So you put him even
Wait,
over.
there's no way I put him at 4 because that would be I put him 4 twice. I must have put him at 3.
I was 4.
I don't. You might have put him at 3.
I put him at 3.
I put him at. I thought I put him at 3. Maybe I put him at 4. Yeah, I did because I think I put Turf Hoppers at.
Okay, I put
I don't know.
the Lake City Long Necks at 2.
Okay. I put him
That
at
helps.
3.
Okay, well then I put Turf Hoppers and the Long Necks at 4. I don't think that's right.
Yeah, somewhere
Maybe
one of us.
I might have
screwed up.
written yours down wrong, but it doesn't actually change the mean
No,
at all.
either
So-
way they'd be 3.
So Long Necks come in at 3. I think they've been a bit of a surprise this year to a lot of people. I think they're performing really well. They got a lot of pieces. I need to go back to their roster. What are some guys that are kind of standing out to you on why they could be in the top 3? Because that's like you get 16 teams in the league. You got to be a pretty decent team to break the top 3.
Well, it's been Puka.
Yeah, Puka's the guy.
Nakua has carried him. He's got Justin Jefferson.
Yep.
Obviously, an
Mr.
absolute
24.
stud.
Yeah.
Herbert has had a great year. Herbert's been playing.
Purdy has had a great year.
Purdy's
has
had
been
a
playing
great
well.
year. It's honestly the top end talent for me. It's so good.
Yeah.
But you look at his bottom talent, it's a lot like the Roided Strawberries to me,
Yeah.
where I don't love Pacheco. He's fine. He's okay. Jalen Warren, he looks better than Najee, but he's not getting the touches like I mean, He's just not. He doesn't have the opportunities.
Yeah.
Kincaid has not been the rookie to own. Unfortunately, that's been his. His brother owns the rookie to own, and
Yeah.
Sam Laporta.
Yeah, of course.
He's been
yeah.
absolutely ridiculous.
yeah, he's a freak. I
Christian,
think he's tight end 2 right now.
yeah, he's so good. Christian Watson is a good wide receiver. He's been out. We'll see what happens. Honestly, it looks to me like Dobbs is the number 1 read.
Yeah.
Not that Watson won't have big games. He will. He's probably the most athletic wide receiver on that team.
So would you say he's more like the
But-
Calvin Ridley of like the Packers, like Calvin Ridley in Jacksonville?
The guy that should be getting it, but
yeah, but
might
is
not.
it? He's probably projected
Yeah.
every week to get more points, but he just doesn't always. So
Yep.
then on his
Actually,
off
that's
weeks,
a really good,
and I don't
really
think
good take.
Dobbs is going to have many 150-yard, 2-touchdown weeks, and I do think Christian Watson will have some, but he will have some duds too.
I
It
think
just-
so, too.
It plays that way, and if he gets injured again, like it's going to be who's my guy.
Yeah,
Right.
he's,
Dobbs is there every week. It's hard to not be your guy for Jordan Love.
for sure.
yeah. So, but I do like the long necks a lot.
Jaden
They've got
Reed's kinda
so
cool.
much top end
Yeah.
talent that it is
They're
hard
heavy.
to put them any lower than 3 for me right now.
Yeah.
Puka Jefferson
Number
is
2,
insane.
the moment we've all been waiting for.
The suspense has been killing me. We got the unicorn fart. Ranked at 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
So pretty close to the number 1 spot. Which
I
it
put
was-
him 1.
You put him 1.
I put him 1.
I put him 2. You put him 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, again, not going back to the top 3 teams, but you got to be a good team to make that top 3. So all these teams, even though we are critiquing them a bit, great lineups. You know,
Yeah. They're all teams that I don't think any of us feel like we would beat.
Yeah.
if we got matched up
Probably
against.
not.
It's like, all right, I'm playing the median that week.
Yeah, right, right,
Look
exactly.
at his game against the projections with Barnacles. 85.87 to 86.48. That could be a barnacle burner.
Well, the big switch up is he does have 2 pretty major players on bye weeks. He's got Jerome Ford and Deshaun Watson,
And
Gerald Everett.
never mind.
But
Sorry, no, I thought Jordan Addison for a second. I saw him
Oh.
down there and I just misread it.
Oh yeah,
I should have known the Vikes are not on bye. That was pretty stupid.
Yeah. Deshaun Watson has been playing well this year for him. For 2 of the games, he got about 23 plus points, and then he had about a 13-point game. But Josh Dobbs is a great backup quarterback. I mean, he's been proving everybody wrong in Arizona that he can step up and kind of
He
take
has
the
been
charge
huge.
for the
I
Cards.
wonder where I'd be if I had Dobbs instead of Joe Burrow.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And what's Dobbs
He
playing
might
for?
be in the
Like
top 3.
$5 million?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah, he's been a
250?
He's been a stud.
Like 10 times more than Brock Purdy, who's making like 800,000 this
wild.
year.
7 or 800 grand.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
There are obviously pieces on this team. As you can see, though, well, you guys can't see, as everybody else can see.
As you can see, if you go to Yahoo, click on the link in the description.
Kyle Pitts is still in the lineup. So he has faith in Kyle Pitts over Tyler Conklin.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gerald
he has
Everett is
nowhere
probably
to
his
go.
usual starter moving forward now, but he is on a bye week.
I'd play Conklin
Yeah.
against Denver. I'd play everybody on the Jets against Denver.
Yeah. At this point,
Mm-hmm.
you just pick anyone other than Pitts. Yeah. and his lofty projection of 7. Like,
Yeah.
dude, maybe, but if Jonnu pulls 7, what else is left for tight ends?
Yeah.
And it's Jenna. How do you say it?
Jenna.
Jenna.
Jenna, my girl.
That's wild.
Jenna.
Jenna,
Okay.
I
Just
love
getting used
you.
to that. But he's got really nice depth. You're welcome. And he already had nice depth for our trade. He's going to do it great this year.
Yeah, he
He's
probably
definitely-
has the best bench in the league.
I feel like I'm most confident in saying, weirdly, that he'll be top 3. Even with number punchers, I'm like, Unicorn Fart is so steady Eddie in the top realm. I feel like he's for sure top 3.
Yeah, they're a tough team to beat. And the suspense, number punchers takes the number 1 spot. This is a great team. This is a scary team. Kind of like what you were saying, Luke. If you're playing the number punchers, it almost feels like we're going to need something lucky to happen. Or we're playing the median.
The thing that gives me, I mean, we ranked him at 13 or 14, something like that to start the year.
Yep.
The thing that gives me a little bit of saving grace, makes me feel better. He also thought that. So this surprises everyone in the
Everybody,
league.
yeah.
He is going off.
Well, a couple of the guys that are the surprise cases, like you said, Laporta has been playing great football. I don't think anybody expected Brian Robinson to be putting up numbers. that he's
Bijan
been-
Robinson light.
Yeah, Bijan Robinson light.
Yeah.
He's been putting up great numbers for the season. I don't think anybody really expected him to put up a 27-point game. And Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson might be the clear start for the rest of the season.
Is another guy where it's like 9.63 projection this week. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Right.
He'll be okay.
Yeah.
He's going to get in the teens for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And McCaffrey, lights out, hitting or exceeding projections.
Tank
Laporta,
Dell only projected
Tank.
7.
Same thing.
What has Tank Dell done this year? Hold on, let me pull
Tank
up.
Dell went back last week and had 3.5 points.
So he's a boom bust. So he was 4-9 week 1, 16, 23, 3. So he is boom bust. But
He is a bit boom bust.
I mean,
He's a stud though.
it's what's winning him weeks. The weeks that, well, not everybody's going off, so it's not just him winning him weeks.
Right.
But it just seems like everybody on his team seems to get 15 to 20. It's like,
That's tough to beat.
gosh,
And then when you have Christian McCaffrey coming at 45, it's kind of like your death blow. Like the Acorn Assassins, they had a decent week last week, and they got smoked by Christian McCaffrey alone, pretty much.
yep.
Anthony Richardson looks like him.
Yeah, he is a beast, man.
Jared Goff as a backup in our league is phenomenal.
Yep.
And realistically, with Kelsey has not been overperforming. He has the potential to do 2 to 3 times the damage that he's been doing.
Yeah.
And if that comes, how much scarier is this team? It's like you said, it's just like turn off the computer when you see that matchup and just
Yeah.
pray.
It's
Yeah.
brutal. I just went through my schedule to check when my automatic losses are coming. I play Unicorn Fart week 9, followed by Number Punchers week 10. So pray for me those
gonna be
weeks.
a-
Whatever hope you had built at that point
Yeah.
will be gone.
Saturday 9th, I'm about to make it.
Those are our power rankings revisited though. Kind of touch base on every single team. Those are definitely going to change though, because from the beginning of the season, like we said, our number 5 spot as the Roided Robberries, they were 16th at the beginning of the season. So in 3 weeks, we might be like, this number puncher team is trash. I can't wait to play them. You
I know.
So who knows what happens? Praying that. I was gonna make an injury joke,
Come week 10.
but I'm not gonna. I gotta lose that spiel a little bit.
that shtick.
Yeah,
Can't
that
lose
shtick.
something that sticks, my man.
Yeah, true.
Well, true. We talked about every team pretty in depth, but let's jump into our league pick'ems.
Yeah.
And we'll just go through our matchups and just say what we're going to do because we're already at a long ways into this episode.
Yeah, we got a long epi.
Yeah.
I'll start it off. So between, as of right now, and this might actually change, but I'll lock it in for the podcast. I actually have the Yorkies beating the Sleepers this week.
So we're playing each other this week,
Yep.
which we haven't stated yet.
Yeah, we
Another,
haven't really
another
said-
brotherly matchup.
Yeah, another brotherly rivalry.
Yep.
How does this matchup make both of you feel?
It actually makes me nervous. It feels like one of those things where he's been consistently, his team has been underperforming. It just feels like the time to do it against your brother. You know, the younger brother just gets smoked by the team that's, are you 2-6?
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like a week that I just get smoked for some reason. So that's why I'm actually going with the league pick'ems. Obviously, I'm kind of hedging my bet though. I'm doing the thing that you did where it's like either I win in pick'ems or I win in fantasy and I'm getting a little bit out of the situation.
Well, I would never do that. Ever. I got full confidence.
Well, you did.
Who are you taking?
He's taking you.
Oh, yeah. Dang it, Ross. You're logged into my account right now. I maybe was going to flip.
Which is going to make this segment so much harder for me because I have no idea what I chose. But I have chosen, and I think I know. This week, I'm like 80% of them I'm with projections.
Yeah.
Not because that's what I do, but because of like luck. And then
Yeah.
on your matchup was one of the ones I had to deep dive.
Yeah.
And I don't
genuinely,
know which way
I think if we were going head to head, I really like everybody's healthy, everybody's playing. I like my team a little bit more still. I really do. Like we're close. I mean,
Yeah,
we're
tight.
both middle tier teams.
I'll give you
Whatever.
that.
It'll be. a good,
I think you have a stronger squad for the long
but
haul.
I've got like 3 guys on bye this week.
Yeah.
But I think he has a stronger squad. I think that's where
This
I went
week.
with my pick too.
Me too. That's why I went with you is because of Godwin and who else do I have on? I have one more other guy on bye.
I can't look at it there.
Shoot.
I
got it right in front of me.
Browns
What-
guy. Browns.
Well, yeah, Elijah Moore.
Elijah Moore.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I have both those guys on bye, and I mean, if Javonte Williams can play, that helps me a little bit. If not, I'm gonna have to dig deep and
Drank some Ember coffee.
drink. I'm gonna have
Get
to play
lumberjack.
I'm gonna have to play Justin Watson and just hope that he gets
Yeah.
2 for 60 and a touchdown.
Yeah.
I mean that's so. I just think that the buys are gonna hurt me this week in a close matchup, and I'm gonna miss out on the median by like 5 points and lose to you by 3. So-
There better be a lot of back and forth going, some memes, some GIFs, some action. I want to see the texts and everything, and TikTok's blowing up from you
Come
guys.
on, more injuries.
I'm gonna stoke the fire myself.
Yeah.
You
go for it.
Side.
I'm gonna call in the NFL and just be like, "Can Miami go on a bye this week as well? just for kicks and gigs.
Just why not? Why not? Okay, after we said we wouldn't touch on anything, and we just deep dive into that.
Yeah, right.
All right, the next matchup is the Turf Hoppers versus the Great North Number Punchers. The Turf Hoppers have had a brutal run of it.
I actually have the Turf Hoppers winning this week.
Do you?
On my pick'ems.
Nope.
I do.
Number Punchers.
I think
Punchers.
as adamant as I've been about CMC, I think he is due for a 15-point week. I think he.
Oh gosh, darn
Everybody
it!
pick up Elijah Mitchell in your 10-team leagues.
I really
That's what
think
my RBs have been totaling this year.
yeah, for sure. I think
ham sandwich.
ham sandwich on under 18. How about that?
No, just Turf Hoppers versus number punchers.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll
All
take
right.
that one. That's a good one.
Yours is gonna be like cooked, right?
What do you mean? Cooked ham sandwich?
Yeah.
No, it's gonna be uncooked bacon.
Melt. It's
Here you go, Ross.
gonna be
Hope you
ham.
enjoy
My
your
gosh.
salmonella.
I should have known you'd be a cheapo on the sandwich.
Cheapo.
Andrew's already planning like ham delivered from France with Swiss and baguettes, and he's gonna be in there.
He's gonna butcher
be
the pig live.
decked out. He's gonna be chefing it up, and you're gonna make him a spam sandwich.
Yeah. Most
That's
of my
brutal.
pick'ems, I will say,
I don't
are
even want to win.
almost based on like complete feeling. There's certain things that are like so fantasy football. It's like guys will be going off week after week after week. I think maybe, not to get into injuries again, CMC maybe has like a little bit of a tweak in like this in the second quarter.
I'm trying to kick
And then-
this shtick. I can't beat that guy anymore. CMC out for season. That's it. I'm calling it.
No.
Dear Jesus.
Dear Jesus, please let me be right. No, I think CMC has like a little bit of a tweak, but he comes back in the game. That's why I think he scores under his average that he's been putting up this year.
People
and I
never
think for
change, Jack. People never change. You're a clear example.
I will tomorrow. I will. I'll stop saying it tomorrow.
I can quit anytime. I just don't want
I just don't want to right now.
All right. The next matchup, the Avalanche versus the Roided Rawberries.
Are you guys both taking number punchers?
Number Punchers?
Number
yeah.
punchers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
all
for
right,
sure.
Cool. Avalanche, Roided Rawberries. Like I said, I got the Avalanche winning this one too.
I do too.
I got some weird upsets
Wait,
this week.
do I? Check mine.
You do.
Yeah, okay, I thought so.
Yeah, I got the end. Even though they're projected about 11 points less,
I think that's a low
I think it's a
projection.
low projection. I think Andover Avalanche is due to beat a big team.
There's no way they're 4 points worse than me.
No,
No
I don't-
way.
No, I don't think so. Couple of crazy
That's
takes.
wild.
Yeah, that's wrong.
I didn't think of it that way, comparing it to the Yorkies.
Yeah. Guys, I'm the
That's
median
science.
and he's better than the median.
I think Andover Avalanche takes out Roided Rawberries. I think one of Ben's guys doesn't.
Gets injured. Tweaks something.
Patrick Mahomes dies. No, totally kidding. I think one of those three guys just doesn't play to his projection, and I think that kills his team. I think Andover Avalanche plays a steadier squad, so I think they pull this one out.
I think that I went Robbers.
Yeah.
It's hard. I know he's underprojected, and I know where you guys are at with it. But I did dive in to make sure that I wasn't crazy because I like the Avalanche a lot. I might have ranked them higher, but I don't think it's quite enough.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Who are you taking?
Avalanche.
Avalanche. Oh
Yep.
yeah, you said that. You're the
Yep.
first one on here. Next one we got Bartonville Bourbon Barrels and the Acorn Assassins.
Assassins.
Acorn Assassins are projected at 84.55.
Next.
And the Bourbon Barrels are at 69.99. I
Yeah.
think everybody's taking Acorns this week.
Assassins.
Yeah. But I'm banking on Andy to miss the median.
Let's go.
Just kidding. We'll see. Long necks, pond feet. We got the long necks at an 85.52. Pond feet at a 64. That one
Another
seems
easy.
pretty easy. Long necks take this one pretty easily.
Only team projected with less points than me. So
Yeah.
we're going long necks.
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
Pound feet.
African Token and the Lumberjacks. I'm taking the Lumberjacks. I got a strong feeling about the Lumberjacks this week. Except I did do my pick'ems before we talked about your team. You might have convinced me to go over the Token, but it's so tough. The team is so shallow.
With my lineup where it needs to be, not stricken by the bye or injury. I like my team. I think it's unrelegatable. I feel like it's just on the other side this week, and what this does to my record and potentially going 4-6 and sliding into the relegation side of things and letting Bekanzi take me like that.
This is the time to play
You're
Bekanzi,
gonna get.
though.
If I can pull it off, it's phenomenal. I bet against myself on this one though. I picked African Token. And Bakanzi needs a win. He needs some of his guys to go off and increase.
Generous. What can we do?
Literally,
what good can we do for you?
We kind of tore the guy down, and he's number 16 in our futures, and I really think that's correct. And this week he's going to torch me.
Yeah,
and it'll be fun. I'll be on the other side expecting it and hoping to climb out of that. That's the thing, is like, if I can get through the week without injury, my big take is I will be happy.
Yeah.
And if I can't catch the median or Baganzi, I will understand.
I'll
be let down easy.
That's a good low bar to set for yourself.
Yeah.
That you won't be too disappointed, hopefully.
Yeah, Jack, set your eyesight somewhere else. Some other team gets your glare and just goes down.
Achilles.
All right, next one up. North Sea Barnacles, Unicorn Fart. Again, somebody picked North Sea Barnacles. I wonder if Nate's been voting. He just voted for. Did you pick Barnacles?
I don't know. I literally don't know. Not my laptop. But where was I at on the pick or on the rankings on the Barnacles? I do not hate their team. They were number 9.
9.
They were number 9.
You think it's a week to upset the Unicorn Fart? Or do you think, are you leaning more towards?
You know what? Now I can remember doing this. I picked Unicorn Fart.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I think
I did too.
I think their projection is low. 85.87 seems low.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's below me and you. Like, that doesn't sound right.
We know that's not happening.
Yeah.
They got big upside guys, and Barnacles are they're at their peak with that number. So.
He is missing Ford and Watson. But I think Dobbs is
better.
Yeah, I think he's
Dobbs is better than Watson. It's an upgrade.
Yeah, probably.
It really is.
They're probably right neck and neck, to be honest, because I think Watson's ceiling is higher.
Yeah.
But
Do you think Dobbs
maybe.
will throw any passes like 30 yards backwards and see what happens? No. Okay, 10-4. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, if he does, he does.
I'm taking the fart.
And if he dies,
he dies. I'm taking Unicorn Fart over the Barnacles. I think this is going to be a closer matchup, but I think Unicorn Fart's projection is too low.
I don't think it's close.
Yeah.
Unicorn Fart for the win. And the final matchup, we got Slumlord Co. versus Corn Dog.
I got Slumlord Co. They are right neck and neck on projections. I'm taking Slumlord Co. though, especially if Jonathan Taylor plays. Is there any chance that he plays this week?
Yeah.
Okay, so if he plays, I think this is an easy one.
like, we all know it means nothing at this point, but projections, unreal.
Yeah.
83.92 to 83.83.
know.
They're off by 8 tenths, 9.
Yeah, 0.8.
That's super close.
8.08 points.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just too cool. I take Slumlord.
Yep.
I love him, but I hate Corn Dog's team. I just don't like it. Like, I just wish the best for them. And Slumlord has so much untapped potential and guys being underprojected. So
yeah.
Yeah. I'm hoping for bad mojo as long as they keep that stupid logo.
Well, they're pretty consistently doing that. So you've been praying too, I see.
I got one prayer.
I got 14? 15. No, just kidding. But yeah, that was our league pick'ems for the week. We are the Relegation Fantasy Football Podcast. You can find us on Apple Podcast and Spotify. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at The Relegation League. Also find us on Twitter or X at Relegation FFL. Our fantasy league home, again, is Yahoo Sports. If you want to follow the matchups, if you want to follow any trades, really get into the nitty-gritties, get on Yahoo Sports, follow us there. The link is in the show description. Send us your questions on Twitter and TikTok. We want to answer some questions for you guys. Looking for a new segment. Hopefully we can answer some questions.
Yeah, maybe you can make it big.
Yeah,
you never know. Get on the pod.
You can come along with us because we're getting huge. And then, as always, follow and subscribe for more content. We appreciate you guys being here.